There's no accountability. There is zero accountability of these assholes. They just failed their fifth audit. They admitted in the failure of the fifth audit, the U.S. military empire, a visual database. I mean, it's just without even getting into the details, just look at the fucking number of dots. How do you have that many? How do you need that many military bases around the world? How do you need to cover the fucking globe in a smallpox? That's what it looks like. I mean, it's fucking repulsive. And the U.S. runs around and says, "Oh, this is for peace. This is to help. This is to help with the world, to make the world better." No, military bases have never done that. I mean, this is what it looks like when a country thinks it owns the world. Like, owns the fucking world. And we really think we do. We behave as if we own the fucking world. We have bases everywhere claiming our territory. We act like we act like a horny dog. This is our version of pissing on everything to mark our spot. Unfortunately, we piss in military bases. That's how the U.S. pisses around the world to mark our territory. There's literally no other country that does this, that behaves this way. Even ones that spend a fair amount on military, and although we spend as much as the next 10 combined, there are some that still spend hundreds of billions. China, Russia, there's a few. But I don't even know if it's in the hundreds of billions, but whatever, billions. We spend the same as the 10 behind. We also spend the same amount as 144 countries combined, the bottom 144 countries combined. That's almost all the countries. There aren't even that many. We spend that much, but other countries don't do this. Other countries don't have bases around the world. Not at all. Russia has something like 18, and they're all in former Soviet bloc, almost all in former Soviet bloc countries. China has one base outside China. And it's pure insanity. It shows the level of insanity of our goddamn military and our ruling elite. And even at the top of our government, I don't even think they know where these bases are. Do you really think they do? Do you think? I mean, yes, of course Joe Biden does, and Joe Biden doesn't know where Joe Biden is. If you show Joe Biden a map and said point to where Joe Biden is, he'd have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But I mean, even outside of that, if you were to talk to the other ruling elite, the ones that actually making these decisions for Joe Biden, the ones that walk in there with the coloring book and say, "Hey, can you sign here and so we can kill some children?" Those people, whoever it is that's running the show nowadays, do you really think, how many of these military bases do you even think they know where they are? If you were to ask them to name all the military bases the U.S. has around the world, how many do you think they'd name? 10? 20? We got UK, you got Guam, and then I think there's something in one of the Virgin Islands, and that's all I got. I'm guessing they named 10, maybe 20 on like a good memory day after they've had one of those enhancing foods like almonds and dragon fruit or whatever the fuck it is people eat to have good memory, where you take a bite and you're like, I remember losing my finger virginity in high school. And let's not forget that the latest failed audit by the Pentagon, which they've had 5 already, right? 5 failed audits, and they've never been successfully audited, never once. They've had 5 failed audits. They just had their 5th. If you had 5 failed audits, you would owe thousands of dollars to the IRS, but you might even be in prison. I don't know what they do with you. It wouldn't be good. Things wouldn't be, but then the Pentagon just tootle in and we failed our audit again. Good. See you next year. There's no accountability. There is zero accountability of these assholes. They just failed their 5th audit. They admitted in the failure of the 5th audit that they don't know where over half their assets are. Half of their assets. They don't know where half their shit is. What? How do you lose Black Hawk helicopters? How do you lose? And literally, and I know. Some of you may think, oh, he's kidding. They don't know where money is. They don't know where various things are. They don't know where Staples. They lost a bunch of the little boxes that hold the Staples. No, they legit lost Black Hawks, jets, addresses, whole addresses. I'm not kidding. Buildings. They don't know where buildings are. They've lost over half their assets they can't account for. If you did anything else, if it was anything other than the Pentagon, which rules the goddamn world and can tell everyone else what to do, if you had any other job other than Pentagon and you misplaced half your assets, you'd be in fucking prison. Okay? If you were a home builder or a diamond salesperson or a daycare worker and you came back at the end of the day and you said, I can't locate. It's roughly half. So I started the day with 12 kids. I have 7 for you, and I feel like 7's a pretty good number. Whoa! I don't know why you're so upset. 7's a pretty good number, and I promise I kept the better ones. The only ones I lost were the ones putting the square peg in the round hole and putting the Legos in each end. The good ones are here. 7 is over half. Okay, you're getting over half back. I wouldn't really complain. The others were rejects. I think you're overreacting. Only the Pentagon could get away with this shit. So this U.S. map, of military bases that your mainstream media would fucking never talk about. It shows really 2 things: that the U.S. empire is completely unhinged and out of control, and that the Pentagon is straight up sociopathic morons. Both of those things can be true at once. You can be a sociopath and a moron. We don't talk enough about sociopath morons because that's what these people are. Sociopath morons. That is it. And it should be in the DSM manual. Sociopath morons, because that is what's running our goddamn Pentagon.